Hello, my name is Curtis, and I am the youth director at Sioux Falls First United Methodist Church. Welcome to Sunday School. There's no distance too far that I can't reach you. There's no place that's so dark that I can't find you. Anywhere that you are, if you need proof, take a look at these scars and know I love you. Doesn't matter what you've done. You were never too far gone. Today's Bible verse comes from the book of Luke, chapter 7, verses 36 through 50. One of the Pharisees invited Jesus to eat with him. After he entered the Pharisee's home, he took his place at the table. Meanwhile, a woman from the city, a sinner, discovered that Jesus was dining in the Pharisee's house. She brought perfumed oil in a vase made of alabaster. Standing beside him at his feet crying, she began to wet his feet with her tears. She wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured oil on them. When the Pharisee who had invited Jesus saw what was happening, he said to himself, "If this man were a prophet, he would know what kind of woman is touching him. He would know that she is a sinner." Jesus replied, "Simon, I have something to say to you." "Teacher, speak," he said. "A certain lender had two debtors. One owed enough money to pay 500 people for a day's work. The other owed enough money for 50. When they couldn't pay the lender forgave the debts of both of them. Which of them will love him more?" Simon replied, "I suppose the one who had the largest debt canceled." Jesus said, "You have judged correctly." Jesus turned to the woman and said to Simon, "Do you see this woman? When I entered your home, you didn't give me water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You didn't greet me with a kiss, but she hasn't stopped kissing my feet since I came in. You didn't anoint my head with oil, but she has poured oil on my feet. This is why I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven. So she has shown great love. The one who is forgiven little loves little." Then Jesus said to her, "Your sins are forgiven." The other table guests began to say among themselves, "Who is this person that even forgives sins?" Jesus said to the woman, "Your faith has saved you. Go in peace." This is the word of the Lord. If you know me, even if it's for 5 minutes, you will know or you will find that I am a car guy. I love cars, the culture, the engineering that goes into building them, and all types of cars too. I love cars and trucks and sedans and coupes and SUVs of all shapes and sizes, and even vans, full size and mini. It doesn't matter either if the fuel is gasoline, diesel, hydrogen, or electricity. I am an enthusiast through and through. I'm an enthusiast except for I'm not the best mechanic. What I typically say when it comes to car maintenance is that I know just enough to get myself into trouble. I think that my biggest problem is that I might have a little bit too much confidence and not near enough knowledge. I know how to change my oil, I know how to change spark plugs, and even the brake pads, if you ask me nicely. When I owned my 2006 Volkswagen Jetta, I replaced the battery at one point, and every summer I switched out the wheels. But if you ask me to do any more of those things that I've mentioned, I'd be pretty darn lost. Those are the times where I would take my car to a mechanic. And unfortunately, anyone with a car will know that you can't avoid the mechanic forever, at least not as long as you want your vehicle to last a long time. Things are just going to break, no matter how well you take care of your car. When things break in your car, you need to fix them right away, or they're going to get completely out of hand. In a way, this sounds a little bit like our faith lives. It's a little similar. In our Bible verse for today, we see someone bringing themselves before Jesus as a sinner. This woman, who is passively referred to in that way as a sinner, and nothing more, sits at the feet of Jesus and sobs and weeps in the presence of this incarnated Almighty. I think one of the most interesting things about the story is that we don't get to hear what the sin of the woman is actually convicted of. Simon the Pharisee just simply tells Jesus that she is a sinner. So maybe this woman had come to Simon the Pharisee in search of a way to atone for her sins, or maybe Simon knows what the sins are and cast her away because he didn't want to deal with her, and maybe he thought she was just too much of a lost cause. We'll probably never know what this woman did to deserve the simple status of sinner. We can have some ideas, but we'll never know 100%. But here's the kicker. I don't think that we're meant to. I don't think that it actually matters in this situation. This story is here to teach us a couple of lessons. The first lesson is from the perspective of the Pharisee, and it's that we never know what someone is going through, what they're beating themselves up for, or why it is someone might cast another person aside. It's okay not to know. Our jobs as Christians is to be the light of God's love and to emulate the example of Jesus. In this story, Jesus shows so much compassion for this woman who didn't think she was worthy enough to pour perfume on anything other than his feet. All we see in this story is a broken person in need of love and care, and Jesus brings that in the most gentle and compassionate way. We need to live into this example that Jesus sets for us. The other lesson that Jesus teaches is from the perspective of the woman. You are never so broken that Jesus cannot fix you or put people into your life to help you get back to Jesus. You can never be too far gone in your sin that Jesus will not accept you with open arms. You are never too much of a sinner that Jesus does not love you. Why on earth would Jesus die on a cross to take on your sin to save you from death itself if he didn't love you? When Jesus forgives the woman, her sins are gone. Poof! They're gone. They don't exist anymore. At least not in the eyes of God. We might remember them. And all of this comes with the knowing that just like the car is going to break even after it's fixed, this person might sin again. Friends, we are not perfect beings. We are fallible. We are going to get tripped up. We are going to get stepped on and beaten by temptation. We are going to need our divine mechanic to make things right. Sometimes what we need is Jesus to look on us and love us and say, your sins are forgiven. Your faith has saved you. Go in peace. There are some questions in the description down below. You can study and answer them by yourself or with a friend or a family member. You can also send me your answers at my email, which is also in the description. Let's have a discussion. If this is your first interaction with Sioux Falls First United Methodist Church and you would like to learn more about us, you can check out our website at sfumc.org. Until next time,